Welcome to Mystic Moons. This is a reading for the Leo Collective. Leo Sun, Leo Moon, Leo Rising. Maybe you just have significant Leo energy in your chart. Multiple planets, houses, signature sign. Maybe the degrees of your planet is in Leo. There's different ways of getting that Leo energy in there. Well, energy of any type of planet anyway. Yes, Leo. Let us go and see what's in your energy right now. What's the message that we can share for you? Leo, a couple of weeks left before we officially go goodbye to 2025. Leo, how has this year been for you so far? Let's go and see what's in your energy right now. Three of Cups, Leo. Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles, Justice. Knight of Cups, is it ready yet? Are you ready yet? Are you ready yet? To go on to the next phase. Are you ready yet, Leo? To release what needs to be released and grow. Not even grow. The time for growing is over, Leo. Now is the time for action. Enough preparation has been done, Leo. Time to get back out there, Leo. Time to become more visible, Leo. More vocal. Whatever you have been preparing for, whatever you have been planning on, whatever you have been working on. Now's the time to launch that. So we have Three of Cups. Three of Cups is Cancerian energy. We could also go and see this, Leo, as what have you been waiting on? What kind of happiness, Leo, have you been waiting on? What kind of happiness have you been waiting to share? And now it's time, Leo, to make things known, make things clear, bring things out to the open. I have Chariot. Some more Cancerian energy. I have Five of Swords. And I have the Fool. Six of Wands is Leo energy. Wheel of Fortune, Four of Cups. Lots of Cancerian energy here, Leo. First of all, the first message is, what have you been necessarily... Tons of Cancerian energy. Chariot is Cancer energy. Three of Cups is Cancerian energy. And then it's flanked by an equal measure of Aquarius energy. This is an issue, or this reading is about that which touches your heart, Leo. That's what you want to do. Maybe you have vocalized it, maybe you haven't, but a direction that you really feel drawn to, Leo. You intend to go in this direction anyway, sooner or later. You've just been waiting for a moment, maybe a sign, maybe support with Three of Cups of when. When can you go forward towards that which you love, that which you have been planning on going to? Energies that are here besides Leo and Cancer. I have some Capricorn. If you have Capricorn energy in your chart, Leo, and this doesn't refer to someone who has significant Capricorn energy themselves, or also too, we're about to move into Capricorn season. Leo, if you have Capricorn energy in your chart, look at what aspects that Capricorn energy rules over or denotes or describes, brings forth. You can either take that energy, Leo, and go for the standard definition. You could also go and flip it into the opposite. Sometimes with those automatic generated answers, they put out the most common, but sometimes that energy can be completely flipped in the reverse, like loves everyone, loves no one. But Leo, with that Capricorn energy, if you do have it, this is something that you have been restraining yourself from sharing or being vocal about it. It's been important to you, but you haven't necessarily shared that importance with others. Or maybe if you have, you shared it with an important a few people, but not to the extent and not to the visibility that you should. Just something to go and mention before we dive into the reading. But yes, so our energies are evenly split between Cancerian and Aquarian energies. Emotion. And what are you holding yourself back from? That which you really want, that which you haven't tried before, that which you know you're going to go anyway, you're going to do anyway, as soon as you get the chance, as soon as you get the support. All this energy is poised movement, Leo, poised movement that gets a go sign. And this energy, Leo, well, on a more mundane level, this energy, Leo, could be visiting your friends and family. You could also be joining new people, new units, Leo, new circles on a mundane level, which is not surprising seeing how we're going into the holiday season. On a more esoteric level, Leo, I feel something a bit stronger than just necessarily going around and socializing in circles that you haven't been before. Leo, I do see whether you meet people who will open up avenues for you to go off in the directions that you've held long in your heart. I do see you, Leo, doing really new things, new ways of thinking, new ways of behaving. Leo, whatever sort of patterns that you've held so far, those patterns aren't really going to be holding much weight for you. I don't see you ascribing to them, maintaining them. I see you acting in new ways. I see you going towards new directions. And I see a new way of thinking, too, about how to approach things. And about the type of people, Leo, that you want to be by your side as you start off this new mode of behavior. Chariot, I have Emperor. 3 of Swords. And Page of Swords. A little bit of constrictive energy here, Leo. Some more Cancerian energy, so much Cancerian energy, so much feelings, Leo, that you haven't been able to properly express or properly act on, or both. Also, too, in this energy, there's a bit of disappointment of the people that you've been around, the people that you've been working with. They haven't really acknowledged maybe those who you shared the direction that you'd like to go in. They haven't really acknowledged or supported your ideas, your feelings. And ultimately, in this energy, Leo, whatever support that you've been hoping to go and realize and build your next phase from, Leo, whatever support that you were waiting on and expecting from others, ultimately, Leo, you must go forward. You must go forward to meet the people who will support you in what you want to do, how you want to be. Very independent energy here, Leo. Also realizing and seeing the resources that you have around you for what they are. And ultimately, Leo, it doesn't measure up, doesn't match up. Better to be independent, Leo, than to be around or facilitate, foster low vibrations, low energy. Signs that came up here, Leo. I have some Aries and some Libra. We still have an overwhelming energy of Cancer, which you could also put that as well to 4th house energies, matters relating to the home. But also, too, when you think about it, you need a solid base, Leo, to go and prepare yourself for the outside, to do what you need to do outside, to find what you need to find outside. You need a solid base to do that from, one where you can recharge, draw strength from, and go out effectively. So I'd also like you to think about that in that type of, or those types of meaning, some more Cancerian energy. Maybe you have a lot of Cancer in your chart. So we have some more Cancer. I do read my queens as cardinals with Sagittarius and some Aries coming up again. Leo, this is Hierophant, Death, and 4 of Wands. You know, who's giving you this? Let me take it back for a second. What kind of rules have you been living your life under? What kind of rules have you been following? And Leo, I think in this energy, you're going to find that those rules, whether they're childhood norms or rules set by the people who are important to you, whatever they could be, you're finding, Leo, that that exact dogma isn't necessarily one for you. And then we have reinvention here, right? A new way of doing, a new way of seeing, following your heart. Before you were following rules. Now, Leo, it's a time to follow what you feel. What do you feel is right, not what other people tell you what's right. Because, Leo, you could tell a good thing from a bad thing. And ultimately, too, Leo, you know the direction that you want to go in. And no one, Leo, can tell your happiness or can tell you the way to go and realize happiness, Leo, other than you. What works for other people, Leo, may not necessarily work for you. You know in your heart, Leo, how satisfied you are with circumstances being as they are. And in this energy, Leo, you know what you need to walk away from and what you need to move towards. So, Five of Swords. Five of Swords is clarified by Temperance. Ace of Cups, Queen of Cups, as I said, we have like 4 things of Cancerian energy here. Lots of, again, matters of the heart. Really, what you feel and acting on it. Leo, with Temperance here and Ace of Cups, together with Queen of Cups, this is trying to go and find a balance between what you think could make other people happy, or likewise too, not upsetting the boat of whoever you're dealing with. What kind of actions can you do to still be true to yourself? And I don't want to say alienate, but you know, there's a whole thing here, Leo. Maybe once something comes under your attention, under your heart, under your care, you just can't necessarily go and detach from that. But Five of Swords is asking you, Leo, to put yourself first, not necessarily equalitarian 50-50 type of thing. But Leo, put yourself first. Where do you find your balance? What emotionally, what emotions do you need? What kind of validation do you need, Leo? Not material validation, intellectual stimulation. What kind of emotional hallmarks do you require to see in your environment? And seek those out, Leo. Don't be afraid about upsetting the balance of what's around you, especially when you don't have that balance first internally. Makes no sense, Leo, to sacrifice your own comfort. And in this energy, it's literally the sacrificing your own happiness for the sake of stability, equilibrium, pleasing the group or pleasing another. Not putting yourself first enough. And that there's a need for a change. Fool. Fool gets 4 of Pentacles. Something long held. Star, some more Aquarian energy. The Page of Cups. Of course, Strength is Leo energy. Hermit, 9 of Swords, 2 of Wands. Leo, a little bit of a Pacific message. Of course, as we drill down the cards more and more, messages get more and more Pacific. But for those of you watching, Leo, it's time for you to move. It's time for you to seek your own happiness. If you're not being fulfilled in your heart, seek the happiness that will fulfill your heart. Leo, you spend enough time waiting. This energy, Leo, is rather solitary, but it's asking you, Leo, to make the necessary moves, have the necessary strength to acknowledge your heart now, Leo. You know, in this energy, lots of other things have been happening, lots of other things you've been working on. But it's time to focus once more, Leo, and turn that attention to the simple things, Leo. You know, sometimes, Leo, some people berate others for wanting to be happy or wanting to have fun, especially as you get older. Once you're past, even as a kid, right? Sometimes parents want to instill responsibility. And so they could go and make you feel guilty in some way, like in order for you to have fun or follow your heart, maybe there has to be constraints, that hermit, death, and whatever that other energy was that we pulled in regards to 5 of Swords. You know, what kind of processes that you had before that you realize doesn't serve you. Maybe before, you know, we structure play, we structure achievement, we structure happiness through certain goalposts. Like you can be happy if someone else, you know, gives you a prize, gives you a bonus, gives you acknowledgement. We can celebrate when we have achieved something that was acknowledged by someone else, someone important. And in this energy too, I like to go and say that there really are, again, no right rules for when you can go and search for happiness, when you can go and have fun. I mean, yes, we have responsibilities and so forth to care for, but I feel like in this energy, Leo, it's been too formulaic for you, too much of a formula. You need to be freer. You need to release the whole fact that when something happens, then you can have fun and not feel guilt, Leo, for seeking happiness in your life and taking moves, strong moves now, Leo. That's what the energy is asking you to do. Strong moves towards what makes you happy, what wishes have you held in your heart, Leo, that now it's time, Leo, to release, let free, and follow. That is my reading for you, Leo. Until next time, bye-bye.